I hit.
I wonder what... Yeah, screw it. All right, welcome everybody to a Shot from the Point special. This is Shot from the Point News, coming at you with the Montreal Canadiens versus the New York Rangers, Game 5 of the Stanley Cup, or the Eastern Conference Final for that matter. Here we are, after we are now in the second intermission, going into the third. Early parts of this period were insane. The Canadiens scored right out the bat after the Canadiens scored right off the bat from Andrei Markov. Martin St. Louis took an early penalty, and Andrei Markov popped it in. That made the score 3-1. Martin Zuccarello. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the fucking penalty summary. About 3 minutes in, Max Pacioretty popped one for compliments of Gallagher and Markov, and then right after that, Rene Bourque makes it 4-1 Canadiens. At this point in time, the Montreal Canadiens...
Hit the panic button.
Yeah, hit the panic button.
The New York Rangers.
They looked phenomenal. The Montreal Canadiens looked utter and complete domination. The Rangers being the type of team and the character they've showed throughout the playoffs, they are able to put 3 goals together within, 9-12, within a 6-minute period. Nash, Stefan, and Kreider all puts it away. Kreider with a beautiful power play goal. And why was it beautiful? I'll tell you exactly why it was beautiful. Because some referee watched the last game. Some referee, and Thomas Platanek was called for embellishment, diving, which was clear. Well, actually, it wasn't diving, it was embellishment in this case. And they caught it, and they called it, and that's what you got to do. Because let me tell you something, folks. I'm a big believer. If this this could ruin our game. I believe that soccer is not popular in the United States because it is a part of sports culture in Europe to embellish. And it's considered a sin in the National Hockey League, and thank God they called it. I think it's bigger than the Rangers winning. It protects our game. Then,
all right, Tommy, I got a question for you.
Sure.
I got the big question.
Sure.
Like you said, if Montreal gets called for embellishing, everything everybody wants to see, and more importantly, the New York Rangers convert. Is karma real?
At that point, yes. Because we did talk about before that Montreal, although they haven't needed to, would result or go immediately to the diving and trying to draw power plays so they could set up PK. They haven't had to do that because they're winning the battles. They were destroying. They were dominating. They're getting the even strength goals. But after that, when the Rangers tie it up 4-4, Rene Bourque scores a beautiful goal from Dale Weiss and Lars Eller, and makes it 5-4 Montreal. Is this the weirdest period you've seen in a long... I think it's got to be the weirdest period of the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think anyone goes in and goes, we'll probably see 5 goals in a period. I don't know if you really expect that. I mean, you were talking about the mental collapse, but this has just been a knockout, drag-out match. It was a good hockey game.
It almost looked like both teams collapsed at one point. Although I give more credit to the Montreal Canadiens. They dominated. They dominated play. I don't know what happened. And who knew this kid would go? This Towarski kid would somehow drop 4 goals. Though I don't think any of the goals were really much of his fault, or they were really too soft. Maybe that one in the first period from Stefan. Maybe that's arguable. But I don't feel the same way on the other end. Is it me, or does Lundqvist look a little nervous out there? Are some of these goals he may should have gloved, should have been in front of, maybe not, should have let through his legs?
Definitely. I wouldn't say, he's afraid or timid or anything like that. It's just he seems a little bit behind. I mean, he's making the right moves. He hasn't really been fooled. They haven't gotten a lot of traffic in front of him. They've been straight on goals, but he just has been behind. He's a quarter of a second behind, and it's costing his team.
Big time. And I tell you what, and this is one thing. I remember the LA Kings were 3 up in the New Jersey Devils, and I had my old host on here, Dead on Dave Van Cura, and he says, well, they're just going to wrap it up in 4. I said, no, they're going to drag it up to 6, to 5 or 6. And he's like, why? I said, because these new teams, when they're inexperienced, like the Kings were at the time, That final game to clinch that cup is so difficult. There's so many emotions running through, and the other team, and the Devils are good enough to take advantage of it. At the time, they had Zach Parise. At the time, Martin Brodeur was really playing incredible. This is before his things kind of dipped for him career-wise. I wonder if that's going on with Lundqvist a little bit. Is it just nerves? Is it just like the fact that he is that close to being able to compete for his dream? I think that might be the case. This is completely mental. He's played too well. But I also said, like, when he has given up soft goals, he's also made some great saves, as Toharski did as well. I think, I got to be honest with you, it's not just because I got the last two periods wrong. I don't know. I think something absolutely unexpected is going to happen next period. It's going to be completely wild. And I don't know what to even say it is or see where it goes. But whatever happens next period is, I think it's storybook time. I think it's one of those things you talk about. It's just, the game has been totally bizarre.
How crazy would it be if the New York Rangers went to the Cup final? That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Well, that's crazy on the whole mess of it, It's just crazy that they're even in this position in the first place, but it's just, this period is completely bizarre. I would never predict it. This has been one of the more bizarre, not so much like incidents-wise, series that I've ever seen. The fact that the Rangers could go in and take a team like Montreal 7-2 in Game 1 and now find themselves up 3-1 and find themselves down 4-1 in this game, only to tie it up to make it 4 even and then drop another goal. Montreal again leads 5-4 going into the third period. And unless you got something else, I think we're going to watch this third period. Something tells me I'm going to have to set up an overtime button. What do you think?
Just maybe.
Just maybe. You got anything else? Because I'm going to end it and try to get a smoke in and calm my nerves. Henrik Lundqvist thinks he has nerves.
One more thing, as always, hashtag NHL15 Bergeron.
Yeah,
and guess what? Bergeron versus Subban. This is it. Patrice versus Purnell. The duel.
The diver versus the man with heart. Mr. Patty Bergeron. I pulled it off too. Hashtag Bergeron, whatever the hell it is.
Or go on. He didn't have a lung, but he still played.
Yeah, he didn't have a lung. He still played, and he's a good guy, and he belongs on there, and I like it. I wouldn't hate seeing PK on there too. I know we differ about him. I do like. There is aspects of PK that I like. I certainly don't like the diving. I think he's disrespecting himself. That's what I think.
All right, folks. Third period.
Fair enough.
Canadiens 5, Rangers 4. Let's see what happens.
All right. Take care. See you on the other side.